No. Okay, now we got it going. Yeah, after a couple
I
of
guess
attempts.
when you because you have the paid version, right? You're supposed to
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys, welcome to a new episode of Comic Book Day. Why? Right? And we got two co-hosts here. Will and I are going to try doing this on Wednesdays. It probably won't be every Wednesday, but I'll try to stream every Wednesday. The chaotic comic book cover displays and more got moved to tomorrow at the same time. So, yeah, welcome to this new show where we're just going to pretty much talk about the new comics coming out. I might show, what I bought in lieu of the new, right? But yeah, Alberto, yo, what's up? Thanks for being here. But it's new comic book day, and we're gonna kick it off with
it's still new to you.
Yes. We're gonna kick it off with Will right now. Maybe I'll go small, like this.
So you can be that voice in my ear.
Well, yeah, when you show something within, we'll go big. How's that? So yeah, welcome you guys. Thanks for being here.
That's cool. Well, we'll start off with I only read two. Yeah. Who else? Oh, you know what? I don't even know who's here right now. Well, I'll see it in the comments, I guess, as they pop up.
Well, so far we got 5 people watching. We got Alberto.
Right, so first off the bat,
I think we got a lag with the voice, but that's okay.
Sweet. Let's see. Oh, I think I know why there was a slight lag. I had 2 windows open.
Uh-oh.
All right, so yeah, we'll start with the first book I read today, Rat City. Pretty good. It's in the Spawn universe, or that new Spawn universe. I'm pretty sure there's a new writer on this series.
It start off with McFarlane,
and it makes sense because the gonna start off with some McFarlane. He's actually not listed on
as the creator.
The creators. So yeah, typically he'd be on there. Yeah, Alberto, I agree. Red City is actually pretty good. I do believe that there is a new artist and new writer on this. But as I was saying, there's a character in here called Quinlan. She was working for there's an organization that gave prosthetics to all these like military guys in an attempt to, I guess, when they got injured in the battlefield, or if basically they got injured to the point where they couldn't perform like they normally could, they got fitted with these mechanical parts, robot parts, if you will. So they were kind of like half man, half machine,
right,
so to speak. But if they failed out of the program, they just kind of booted them out, but they still kept tabs on them, so this
is one of the brand. This is one of the brands
for the organization.
It's all good.
Yeah, so this is one of the new ones, but we're on
that you read.
We're on 4. So I do that I read. Yeah, I do like the new artist. I don't know. It kind of has a nice art. It's art, but it gets the point across. Like the facial expressions are pretty good, right? The facial expressions aren't like static. So here we got a wry smile. On the other page we had some fear, questioning. So I think I'd like to pay attention to is like facial expressions. See if they can convey what the character is doing at the moment. So I think the artist did really well with that. Like I was saying, the writing, they switched writers. there's a female writer on this book. I don't know if that's like the first Spawn universe female writer or not, but I don't recollect there being a lot of female writers on this series or any Spawn series in particular. But this is told through the eyes of Quinlan, so she, it makes sense if they put a female writer to give a female voice to the book.
Right. So this dude by this time has donned the Spawn outfit, right? Because wasn't it like the first couple issues?
Yes,
dude wasn't even in Spawn outfit or something.
Yeah, issue 1, he wasn't really in the Spawn outfit, and like issue 2, it was kind of like a halvesy kind of thing. So by issue 3 is really when we see Peter Karn, I think is his name. Is when we finally see him in the suit. I wonder if the Peter name is like a wink to like Spidey and Peter Parker. I don't know.
Right, right.
Basically, we get the big bad villain at the end of the issue. But so far so good. And at the end of every Spawn book, they basically show you the cover for the next issue. Which I think it's cool. You always get to see the A cover before it comes out.
Cool.
But yeah, Rat City, pretty good. If we had it on a scale of 1 to 5, maybe I give it a 3 or a 4. It's not groundbreaking, but it's well done.
Right.
And it's just fun to see that, Todd isn't actually listed as a main. It's interesting, actually, to see that Todd isn't listed as one of the main creators.
Doesn't that like homage an earlier Spawn cover? That cover, the new cover there?
It does look very familiar, and it probably does homage one of them. I can't tell you which one. This pose, though, is a classic kind of Spawn and or Spidey pose.
Right.
So, I mean, if anybody out there knows, what this cover kind of homages, go ahead and toss it out there. Could also be like a Batman pose. It could be off a,
So any predictions? Do you think Al Simmons? Do you think Al Simmons exists in that future? Hey, Higgy, what up, man? Thanks for being here, buddy.
Higgy Pop in the house.
Greetings, Rob.
Hey, Triple C in the house. Cheap comic collector.
Yeah, dude, love it.
I do think Spawn could. So,
what up, Matthew Morgan?
Characters into his world.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, what's up? And by I think yeah.
He'll probably make a surprise.
They're going to do it anytime soon. I think they're going to let Rat City kind of breathe.
Yeah. Your audio is cutting out, bro.
Oh, is it? It's disappointing.
It's all right, buddy. No big deal.
But let's see. Let me just close some of this. Maybe that'll help too. Let's see.
Yeah, I remember Max Headroom. You're kind
sounds
of
like Max Headroom.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. What's up with that?
All right, let's close that. All right, maybe that'll help. It's I think it's prime
Meanwhile,
time right now where I live, and all the bandwidth is being taken away. I should have run a hard line.
Meanwhile, we have 2000 AD. Right, dude?
Featuring.
While you guys are buying your new comics, I go out and I get this. No, I like the new comics too, you guys. Judge Anderson was a big deal. I haven't really got to her yet in the continuity, the original continuity that I'm reading, but look at this. Feast your eyes on this. We're going to get you back on, Will. We're just going to go book for book. How's that, buddy? Yeah, dude. What do you think? Look at this. I got this from my friend Sean. Yeah, man. I don't really do the new comic book day. I guess there's a big divide. It still exists. You got one side of the divide saying, "Hey, you guys over there," and they're high-fiving each other and nudging each other and stuff, saying, "Yeah, you guys don't read old comics, man. That's where it's at. These new comics suck." And then the other guys on the other side are saying, "Yeah, whatever, dudes. You know what I mean? You guys are way stuck in the past. Look at this. We're making money. We're putting stuff in slabs. It's called technology. We don't need the paper anymore." You know what I mean? But then you got guys like us, like me and Will, who are just kind of like in between, Because Will loves his old stuff too, right, Will? Will's experiencing technical difficulties, unfortunately. But yeah, you guys, I got this from Sean. Oh my gosh, man. A few bucks. I mean, I can't even believe it. So what we want to do with this show is we kind of want to bridge the gap because there's a lot of good stuff that comes out. Believe it or not, I used to be one of those that poo-pooed the new comics. So you get burned after a while. You have these expectations, and then they end up, disappointing you. It really sucks. But yeah, I would say absolute universe is looking pretty good. We got Will. Was Will here? Will's back, I think. We're experiencing technical difficulties. What? Whoa. I mean, back in the day, it was just people with paper and pencil and ink, man. And machines, right? Mass 4-color processing. And you got to love this right here. So yeah, dudes, did I do okay getting that from Sean? I love me some Judge Dredd. But now we could go to what do we got here? 1977 is the Return of the King on Captain America. 209. Kirby comes back to his creation, right? Am I wrong about that, you guys? Look at this. Attack, Primus. Attack! Pretty dang cool. Got your old school, nice and clean. Backing right here. Yep, so it seems like Will is gone. Don't know what happened. Kind of left me high and dry. So Wednesdays will turn into like a Open Sesame show or something like that, I think. With guests. I'll probably just drop a link, say hi to peeps and whatnots. We got Cuppy. Cuppy's coming back, you guys. Boom.
I'm back, baby.
You're back. Back for the attack. So that was cool. Some Rat City you were showing there. Real promising. Is that your favorite Spawn title right now or no?
It's cool, but I am partial to Gunslinger Spawn. Gunslinger Spawn is my dude.
It's still going good without Brett Booth, huh?
Brett Booth, yeah. They find ways to get some other really good artists in there. So even though Brett Booth is, and I don't think Brett Booth is totally removed from the Spawn universe. It's just because I saw him move to another title. I forget which one he was doing, but I guess he's off of Gunslinger for a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Can we? Am I still choppy? Am I still Max Headroom?
No, I think you're good. Actually, I don't know what you did, but you cleared out a bunch of stuff. So
Nice.
we're doing good.
We're back and better than ever.
Oh yeah.
All right. The other book I read this week is an Absolute Power tie-in from DC. This is Superman number 16. Basically, Amanda Waller is, got these Amazobots to steal the powers of a lot of superheroes, like most of them, including Superman.
Cool.
So stole Superman's powers to the point where Superman gets shot in Absolute Power 1, like literally bullet to the chest. And, he starts to fall out of the sky. What follows next is a scene where Superman is being operated on. You got Mr. Terrific, and I'm not quite sure who the other guy is. Any DC fans out there, if you can tell me who this other guy operating on Supes is, that'd be cool to know. The interesting thing is during this surgery, they keep a kryptonite scalpel by the side of the bed. That's basically because even though right now Superman his skin is penetrable, Mr. Terrific is scared that if Superman gets his powers, they're not going to be able to complete whatever surgery, and then Superman just may be left with irreparable damage or worse, death. So they keep that kryptonite scalpel just in case he gets his powers back and they have to cut into Supes. But here you kind of see a panel where Superman's looking at himself shot with blood on his hand, and there's like some surprise in his face. And then we get to see, this is a classic scene that's been seen in countless books, previews up until Absolute Power.
Right.
And then we get Superman in his black costume later on. He doesn't quite have his powers back yet, but that suit is helping to heal him. So this issue kind of deals with the aftermath of what happens after the Absolute Power issue 1 and Superman getting shot. What we have here is all the heroes kind of getting together at the Fortress of Solitude. That was set up after the whole Brainiac fiasco as the place they should all get together.
Right.
You see Red Tornado's here. Blue Beetle actually makes a comment along the lines of like, can we trust any robots? And Red Tornado is like, what you say?
Yeah. And
so Booster Gold's also involved in that. Superman comes down on them, and as you see in this panel, they're like, you got it, big guy. Yes, because Superman's like, we can't fight each other. And so they're like, you got it, big guy. Yes, sir. Red Tornado's like, he started it. So we got a little comedy in there. We have an introduction of Zatanna into the mix, right? Because even without the powers, there's still a little bit of magic in the world, even though magic was also absorbed, but there are magical things that just can't, magic doesn't work quite like superpowers. We do have a Peacemaker appearance in this book. And then we'll button it up with Lois Lane in one of these Superman suits. Like Supercorp had these Superman suits for when Superman, loses his powers, gets, has to battle people with kryptonite, etc. Right. But Lois Lane's in there, and she's being a hero. She's basically, there are several suits, and she's telling everybody, get in a suit. It's time to fight. So Lois Lane is about ready to bring the fight to Amanda Waller in Superman number 16. And we got also Zatanna. There is a whole, let me not miss on one of the main key storylines in this book, is that Zatanna knows of magical roadways that can be taken that aren't necessarily seen in the eye, but people do get, can use these roadways. You don't have to be magical to use them. People have been, she explains, like, sometimes when somebody just disappears, they end up in one of these magical roadways. But they're going to use these magical roadways to kind of save heroes that have been captured by Amanda Waller. And knowing Soups, it could be heroes, villains, whatever. They're just going to
The
say
magical roadways are typically referred to as the crossroads and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe they call them the crossroads in this episode. So
cool.
Or this issue. So yeah, that was my next new comic book day. You got one first, or you want me to keep going? I know I left you.
Keep going, buddy. You can keep going.
All right. Next up is this is a twofer. Only because I had missed getting Ultimate X-Men #4. So I got this Ultimate X-Men #4. This was actually the only one at the comic shop. This is not cover A. This is it looks like cover D. But I believe this is the first, I think this was the first cover appearance of Pixie, but I could be wrong. Because there is clearly lightning shooting out of this character's finger. But I know there was a
X-Men.
Yeah, this is Ultimate X-Men 4. There was a it's not Storm. I could have sworn this was, maybe it's Pixie or maybe it's Jubilee. I don't know. But I could have sworn this was the first cover of somebody. I didn't go into detail to figure out who it was. I just know this was the last one on the shelf.
We do have a Peach Momoko fan, Alberto here.
Yeah, the Peach covers are nice.
Covers.
Which is, I have 5. 5 is a Peach. They didn't have the 4 in the Peach. And Peach does variant covers too. So Peach will do like the cover A, and then she'll do some other covers.
Yeah.
I can't really speak on 4 or 5, but I can't. What I can tell you is a lot of people in the first 3 issues were feeling that Ultimate X-Men was just like really slow, right? Not a lot happening in those issues. The other thing I can tell you about it is that it is love her art. Yes, Matthew, it is. Her art is amazing. The other thing I could tell you about Ultimate X-Men is that it's different. The type of storytelling in here, right?
Right.
It's the Far Eastern type of storytelling where monsters are more spiritual, and there's more of a connection between life and death and monsters than just people are just bad. There's other things behind it, but right, like if somebody's bad in Eastern culture, it's almost like they are possessed by a demon.
Yeah.
Whereas in American culture,
makes a lot of sense.
It's more of
it's more of that Eastern flair, right? Mm-hmm. Squirrel Wars, thanks for being here. He says, "Cuppy, what up?
What's up, Squirrel Wars?"
Manga influence in it, definitely likey.
Yeah, if you're into manga, if you're into manga, I would definitely say Ultimate X-Men is kind of your bridge between manga and comics. Kind of like Aaron and I are your bridge between modern and the older stuff.
Yeah. Bridging the gap. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to find out what the goods are that are in the modern comics coming out, because I'm not always convinced.
Right. And this is Armor. I don't know who.
Yeah, that was a Joss Whedon creation. Armor. I remember.
Yeah.
Her.
What's funny is when I first saw this cover, if you look, you got these 2 lanterns up here, and then you have the armor suit, and I just thought this was like a giant like snail or slug, because I thought these connected there, and I was like, who's this giant slug character behind that girl? Yeah. And then I was like, oh, that's just Armor. I just totally didn't look at it correctly.
Cool.
But yeah, those are the Ultimate X-Men pickups this week. 5 actually came out this week. 4 is from a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So I missed 4. I had read the first 3, and I was like, before I make a definitive decision on how slow, and there's lots of critiques, but there's also lots of critiques, both good and bad.
Yeah.
I was like, before I make a final decision, I got to catch up on the series, and
Yeah. So some people say it's slow going.
Very slow going, and I think people just, some people are confused by the storytelling. how
Right.
how the story's told. It is
How it's
slow.
told.
I would also say like
It's not linear, in other words.
it has some
Linear.
linearity, but yeah, it's not. It doesn't go from A to B to C. Sometimes it jumps.
Okay.
Also, it's just very like you don't know what the purpose of the book is or where it's actually going. But I haven't
For
read.
me, I'm not so forgiving of that kind of thing, man.
Right.
You know, because I'm dropping $4 or $5. It's got to be something that's.
You don't have time to waste.
Yeah.
$15 before you figure out
Yeah.
what.
Well, I mean, what I end up doing is pre-ordering this stuff, so I get like 3 of them, and then
Right.
I know, you know,
Then
like I get it from my comic shop or whatever.
then you can make a decision.
Yeah. So you've read how many of the new comics that came out today?
Only 2. The first 2 I showed were the only 2 I read before we got on the air. So, I picked them up today after work.
Cool.
So I had some time, but in between there, you got to get in a little din.
Yeah.
I had to make sure my.
Well, it's the same day reading, man.
Yeah.
Way to go.
I try to read between 3 to 4 each day if I can fit them.
Matthew Morgan is like, I like the slow burn type of story Kirkman is doing that with Void Rivals, but it's paying off now, I think. So I don't mind world buildings. I think that's pretty cool, actually. World building.
That's what
like Hickman, right?
Hickman does
sometimes you're
very
like,
well.
okay, why is this significant? But it's intelligently written enough where it leaves a lot to the imagination. So you're introduced to a world. So I don't mind. Everything doesn't have to be one long scream. As far as action and suspense and stuff like that. It definitely, there is an art to storytelling for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. If it's done right. Right.
That's the key.
So should I show one really quick?
Yeah.
Trying to bridge the gap here, peeps. Can we bridge the gap? Now I got this from Sean, and it's 2 issues. I thought I only had 1, and I have no clue what this is about, you guys. I mean, what the freak? It's called. Well, I'll say what year it is first. It's 1981, so it's the indies from the 80s that I freaking love, and it's by Last Gasp. Last Gasp. So it's like horror, I think, but
weird.
In this one, it seems more humor, and it's called Weirdo.
Huh.
What do you think of that, Will?
That's interesting. Yeah. It reminds me, it reminds me of it's like
look, is she drooling? Oh, she's
God.
foaming at the mouth there,
foaming
dude.
at the mouth. Kind of reminds me of like when you had the Cabbage Patch Kids and then you had the Garbage Pail Kids,
It's an advertisement.
Weirdo jeans.
So it was okay to critique, society back then. It was awesome. Generation X stuff, right? Counterculture, residue from the when they were questioning things in the 60s, but we got a little more snarky in the 80s. But this looks pretty cool. So another score for my man, Sean. I really like that. It's a family-friendly show. I think that's friendly enough, and she's foaming at the mouth for some reason.
Right?
But I just love weird sketches like this. Like, what the heck?
Right.
She's some Samian. I mean, what the heck is going on here?
That is interesting.
Inquiring minds want to know. I get a twofer because it was 2 and 1 back and board, dude.
Nice.
So here's another one from Last Gasp. I'm sure someone will comment eventually, one of the cool kids, about what this was all about. But I just saw this and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Here's number 2.
Like a Mad magazine or something.
I'm no dum-dum. You can't even joke about that. Even though there are people, look at there are people still like that. Hey guys, this magazine degrades women. So see, it's like it's not cool. This is not cool.
They already knew.
The Kiss Me necktie glows in the dark.
Ha.
I mean, am I going to get in trouble now or what? But this is something I'd never seen before. But I look inside and I really dig the art. And I understand sarcasm when I see it. I don't get, I don't get bent easy. we got like all kinds of random things. Yes, this comic degrades bunnies. What's this? Bloods in space. Da-da. So we'll turn it over to New Comic Book Day. Maybe I'm just a little old-fashioned here. What was your favorite thing you read, Will?
Of the two?
Yeah, of the big two.
They were both pretty much. They were both up there. I thought Rat City upgraded this week. In terms of storytelling, it just felt a little bit more organic.
I just love the concept of the future and weird, like dark mysticism, hell, involved with technology and stuff like that. So I'm kind of drawn to the subject, but for some reason, Spawn doesn't do it for me. Although I know there's some Spawn heads out there, man. Shout out to all you Spawn heads, right? So what's the next book you want to show, buddy?
We're gonna go with Blood Hunters. Matthew Morgan. Matt makes a cool comparison. Looks like a parody of those Brooke Shields blue jean ads in the 80s.
Nice.
I think it's like actually a picture where Brooke Shields is kind of standing in that same pose. Yeah, interesting.
Pretty cool. Yeah, right. Last Gasp was an underground publisher that started in the 1970s. Weirdo ran for 28 issues. Thank you for that, cheap comic collector.
Speaking of publishers that only had a short-ish run, EC Comics is coming back now.
EC?
EC, I believe it stands for Exciting Comics. They did things like Tales from the Crypt comes from.
Oh, yeah.
Believe they started in the 40s and then went defunct in the late 1950s, like 56.
Cool.
But they're coming back, and the family still owns the rights. So the original creator, his family actually still owns the rights. So, they've still profited off of VC Comics. So things like Tales from the Crypt still make money, and then they've been doing hardcover,
baby,
hardcore horror. They did horror, sci-fi, suspense, thrillers, detective stories. But they've been doing a hardcover reprints of a lot of that stuff too. I think Dark Horse did a lot of them, but now Oni Press is going to do new stuff and very much in the same style. At least the covers. I don't know about the interiors yet. It hasn't come out. Right. But all right, let's get into some new stuff.
Okay, now that we talked
about some old stuff.
All right.
We got Blood Hunters. This is cover B. I've been collecting these like artsy, art-ish. I don't know how to explain what these covers are. Covers, but this is the B cover. So this is part 4. This is like an anthology series. So all of them have had a dagger and bloodstone story in them. And then a couple of them have had stories by like the Hulk or Dr. Doom. Hawkeye was in a couple of these. This one kind of has a Silver Surfer story in it. So I'm interested.
So they've been one-shots based on popular characters, pretty much.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how Silver Surfer ties into vampires. I'm thinking it has something more to do with the Darkhold dimension, which is kind of what's fueling or not fueling the sunlight in the story.
Right. And hi to you, Kenneth Bird. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Birdman in the house.
That's Kenneth.
Kenneth Bird.
So what do you think of so far of the event here, Marvel event?
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's dark.
It isn't changing your life.
I don't know if it's changing my life because I don't see this affecting the Marvel universe in the future.
That's my problem with events. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think that
Marvel
anything,
events.
that's happening
Give
in
me a
this
break.
book is going to, change anything in the future.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about these books? 10 years from now, people suddenly want these horror books. Oh, vampires. Oh, and
Right.
then they'll go up in price for a little bit.
Well, I think that's what's kind of fueling it. We do have a Hallows Eve appearance in here. She
Oh
kind of
yeah.
saved the day. I don't know. She wears these masks, so she's able to. So Hallows Eve, I don't know if everybody knows how her powers work, but she can don masks. Like here, she has a Spider-Man mask, and she puts on Spider-Man mask, and
Oh
she's
yeah.
spider
I
powers.
remember. Yeah, I remember.
So Hallows Eve basically wears a mask, and it gives her powers that are akin. So she's been wearing a vampire mask during this. So everybody
She's
thinks,
a recent addition to the Marvel universe.
yeah, I believe she was a Zeb Wells creation. If not, then probably Nick Spencer. But I do think it was Zeb Wells that created
Yeah,
this.
Matthew. I remember the earlier events matterings a lot, right? Now it's just event after event, but some are better than others.
Right.
But I like,
yes,
for instance, like Civil War, to me was a great event that should have had lasting effects, and then it didn't. Suddenly
right.
it's a secret invasion.
Well, because that was like when Peter Parker ends up, his identity ends up being.
Oh, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, and then it didn't quite stick for a while. It did for a little bit, but nothing that happened in Civil War kind of sticks to today.
They wanted to get rid of the marriage any way possible soon after that, right? Oh my god. Anyway, let's not go there. All right, let's go to the new stuff. Dun, dun, dun.
New stuff. We have Misery. This is another Spawn universe title.
Okay.
Basically, Wanda, who was, Spawn's wife, who ends up deceased. She ends up having a kid with, I believe, another dude. So not actually Spawn himself, but Spawn. Wanda's dead, so Spawn kind of takes it upon himself to be the protectorate.
Yeah.
Of this child. She grows up. She ends up in a stressful situation, and like a mutant, it reveals that she has powers.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Right. So I'm still trying to figure out what her powers are.
Evening, Danielle. What's up? Chop and Drop.
Chop in the house. What's up, Chop?
Dude. Thanks for being here, buddy.
But this is kind of more in the lungs of like Sam and Twitch. It's kind of like a day in the life of. There's like a lot less superhero stuff and a lot more exposition and talking.
Now, sometimes that works for me, like the exposition.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like it because I miss reading books sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Books. So sometimes the comics are good that way. Other times, no, it's unnecessary. It's not. There's like a proper balance and flow. Like you can't really nail down exactly why it works, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So this one actually has McFarlane listed as the top creator on this book.
Yeah, Barry Allen stayed dead a very long time. That is true.
Yeah, he did.
And there was no need to bring him back, but DC wanted to do that. So Hal Jordan they wanted to bring back, and then they told the fan base, forget it, he's never coming back. And they finally brought him back after everyone didn't care. Like Kyle Rayner is the guy, right? For me.
I mean, yeah, they even killed Spider-Man for 2 years, right? Peter Parker was gone for.
Well, yeah, Ock took over or something.
Right, he was the superior Spider-Man.
I actually that was pretty good. Let me show an older comic here. I'm going to show an older comic. Yeah. Is that cool?
Let's
do this, dude. Let's do it. Okay, so we got a reprint here. I got to love it. It originally presented it in Hulk 102, and it's 1975. Marvel Superheroes 56. I love these old school reprints, you guys. I'm going to get a whole bunch. I'm going to separate them out for my run, though. What I was doing before was taking all my Marvel tales and putting them in with my Amazing Spider-Mans. And now they seem to be pushing out all the Amazing Spider-Mans in my short box. So I'm like, no, not gonna do that. So I'm gonna pull that off. I'm constantly reorganizing these things, man. It's part of the hobby, I guess, but man, talk about time consumption. Am I right? Some people don't. So this looks pretty cool. I do collect the Marvel superheroes, and I will keep that apart from the original Hulks. Now, here's something that Peter David tried bringing back, an old school character. What? This is 2022? I thought it was. That must be some kind of. When did this come out, man?
That's pretty recent.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's like a modern retelling of his. I don't know if it's of his origin or just stories, recent stories, but yeah, that's.
Didn't Peter David try bringing him back before this, or was this the first time?
Genusville.
I kind of like the look, you know. I'd rather have the original Captain Marvel back, but you know he dies of cancer, blah blah blah. So.
Yeah, to stay with So yeah, I mean that character has existed since like the mid '90s, but
yeah, that's
that was like a recent. Yeah, that's a recent attempt.
Like a recent attempt to bring him back, even though there's a Miss Marvel became Captain Marvel, and then there was a new Ms. Marvel. All that stuff happened. I thought we would never see the original Captain Marvel again. So for some reason, this was I don't know how I got it. I forgot how I got it, but it went under my radar, dude.
Yeah, that's too modern for you to be showing.
What the heck am I doing? I'm out. You want to show another one?
Yeah, let's go. I got plenty of books.
Okay.
Here's one that I think on like issue 14 or something. It was the last
undiscovered country. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so basically there's a whole thing where America shuts itself down, shuts its walls out to everybody, and for years they're closed off, and this group of scientists or adventurers kind of decide they're going to come into the States, right? They're on the outside. They're going to come in and see what's going on there. And I left off on this a while back, a long time ago. But it's Charles Soule and Scott Snyder working together.
Yeah, I remember that coming out. Yeah. It got mixed reviews.
A lot of mixed reviews.
But you liked it.
I liked it enough, I guess, to keep
That's cool.
Keep it on the pull list. But I have to catch up on it, in all honesty. Yeah. So this is going to go into a box with like the other 15 issues I haven't read yet. And
Matthew, if you're so you're camera shy, you would show me the ones you got in the mail today. Hey, buddy, what I'm going to do on Wednesdays, when Will's not here for an hour, I'm just going to drop a link and say hi to peeps and stuff like that, because I don't think he should be able to do this most Wednesdays, but yeah, we'll have fun here for an hour. We got about 15 minutes before Graphic Man comes on. Here we go.
That's right. The Immortal Thor #1. So I've been collecting the Thor stuff, and I just didn't check my pull list, or else I probably would have pulled this out. But this is part of the Infinity Watch. Same thing with like the Spider-Man annual I got recently. Part of the Infinity Watch. Not a horrible thing. What I will say about the Infinity Watch, these comics that all tie into this, is Agent Coulson's back. So he had died both in the movies and in the comics. But now he is back in the
He's back for the attack.
He is. Al Ewing actually worked on this, though. So with these annuals, typically the main writer of the series doesn't end up working on the annual, but Al Ewing is a workhorse. honestly. So he did the annual as well. I'm trying to show.
Brent, what's up, man? The Dragon's Lair, dude. I gotta catch up on your videos, man. I've been freaking crazy busy.
Here's Agent Coulson getting punched in the face.
What?
But he's back. He's apparently so the Infinity Watch is about a bunch of people who are all assigned an Infinity Stone to kind of watch after them.
Cool.
Yeah, it seems like there's some big dude here. There's Thor. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that Thor's. I don't know if it's family friendly, but Thor. If you see it goes crack and thap, and it looks like Thor's wrist kind of snaps there. So.
Ooh, yeah.
Mjolnir came in hot, apparently.
That would be cool, Matthew. I would totally do that. Hey, what up, man? Beckerman. How's it going, dude?
So Thor says something about the Mjolnir being, not to cut this short, but for a really long time I had trouble saying Mjolnir. I was like Mjolnir.
It gets stuck in the nose sometimes.
Yeah, you're like, what? How do I? What's the J doing in there? Like, I think
it's like some words are like that, you know.
How do you pronounce that J? Here's a fun thing.
Okay.
Chip Zdarsky put out like this little funny newsletter-y thing. I think it's basically an advertisement for all of his like graphic novels that have come out.
Cool.
But if you see, it actually is done by Chip because there are, or it could be done by like Diamond or something. It says printed in Canada, by the way, because he's Canadian. But it's got like his Marvel stuff. It's got his stuff, his Image stuff on there. So it's all of, like, not all of his work, but a lot of his work, recent work. This is not an advertisement just from like Image or Boom or Marvel or DC. This is Chip Zdarsky, like all of his chips. But it's funny, like on the front, like the first thing here on the title, how to lose 10 pounds from your comic collection. And you probably can't see the small print, but it says throughout the ones drawn by Ryan Stegman.
Nice shot.
So, yeah.
It's a soft J. It's a Mjolnir.
There we go.
Yeah, it was put together by Chip, right?
Look, you'll like this one down here. It says, "Why is every comic why is every CGC comic a 9.8?"
Yeah, dude.
And then you open it up.
Some people love their slabs,
right? And then when you open it up, it's got a whole bunch of other like fun things in there. It's got a word finder. I haven't done that yet, but on the first line you can see Batman, and then on the second line it says Batman. Third line just says Bat. So
cool.
There's a couple of mans in there, so that was cool. Nice little funny thing by Chip Zdarsky.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna show a comic really quick. Maybe two. Then you're gonna show a comic, and then do what you want, and then we're out.
All right. I got 4 more comics. Oh, before you go, let me just throw this link in here in case anybody wants to vote. Over on my link, my channel, I have a poll up right now, and it is out of these 4 comic book publishers, who's your favorite? We've had 4 votes so far. It's Marvel, DC, Image, and Boom. So go ahead and throw up a vote if you are so inclined.
I bet DC is gonna crush it. Am I right?
At the moment,
maybe Image.
At the moment, DC is not crushing it. Believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
I hear
so
nothing.
We'll wait till a few more votes are in, and then I'll reveal some of the results. I'll reveal the results.
A few slabs. Yeah, I have nothing against slabs, but we could have that discussion some other day. So here's this link, you guys. YouTube link for Will, and I'm going to show a couple comics. Then I'm going to show a couple comics, and then Cuppo Comics is going to show a couple comics, and then we're out because we're going to get out of the way from Mr. Graphic. The graphic man for 4-color, no process. I'm gonna get in trouble now. Here's
There we go.
Dazzler playing Kissy Face with Angel. What do you guys think?
Smoochies.
No, shout out to Micah, graphic man. We're getting out of his way. We're gonna pick up chaotic comic book cover displays and more with friends tomorrow. So 4-color fossils is what that is. Sometimes you guys say the wrong thing. It wasn't deliberate. Okay, I can get in trouble, but I don't want to. So I like Dazzler. I like these 60-cent covers. This doesn't. The art seems pretty okay. I love the last one I'll show before will take it out is you know I love my indies from the 80s, and this is 1986, and it's Grimjack 21, number 21 from First Comics. I hear nothing but great things about this series, so I can't wait. They've got eyeballs and shards of glass and stuff. I can't wait to read it. I'm going to separate all my indies from the 80s out of how I collect right now. I have everything like just about organized besides the chaotic comic book area in my room. Most are organized by alphabetical order, and but I want to change that. Tom Sutton does the pencils. Tom Sutton does some good work. I think I was looking at a Doctor Strange comic earlier that Tom Sutton did from like the 70s or something. Pretty cool. So I am looking forward to Grimjack. Pretty cool colors. And you guys could find this on the cheap in high condition. Count on it. First. All right, Will. So what we're going to do is we're going to close it out with you doing a couple comics, and then doing a couple comics, and then we're going to get out of here.
Let's bring it home.
Yeah, dude.
I was just going back through the chat again, and Matt was saying, Matt Morgan, that he bought so much on Whatnot last week they froze his card.
Oh yeah, I'm afraid to go on Whatnot. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is dangerous. And what's up, Dragon Lair? And Beckerman, what's up?
Thanks for grabbing the ones I didn't see.
Yeah, and Beckerman was saying that the Zdarsky comic news was put together by Chip. So all nice. On Chip's big up there. And just so everybody knows, every week we do this. I'm going to put some kind of little poll on my page. So if you want to vote on something, go ahead and just hop over there and vote, and then hop back wherever you were. Destro number 2 is out. For those of you who didn't know, Destro is Scottish, but his original voice was voiced by a black man in the 80s, 90s G.I. Joe comics.
Cool.
But
what up, lead paint?
Yeah, lead paint in the house. But here's like a side-by-side comparison of these guys and Destro. For those of you who didn't read G.I. Joe back in the day, a lot of these characters come out of the original G.I. Joe Generation 1 series, as well as a lot of the characters in Transformers coming out of G1. So pretty cool stuff. If you like G.I. Joe, definitely check out Destro. I think it's a good read. It's a fun time. Destro's kind of working with Cobra. He's like, I'm not an employee of Cobra. He tells that to Cobra Commander in the last issue. He's like, we're working together. We're partners. So,
nice.
Destro's a little bit more.
Remember that being the cartoon too. We're partners.
Yeah. Destro's always kind of been like a little bit of a boss.
Yeah. An undermining commander there.
Right. Incredible Hulk. This is, a horror comic, but in modern times. This is issue number 14. I believe there's a first appearance or cameo appearance of a villain in this one. Forget their name. Can confirm it maybe later. It's got to be one of these monsters
cool.
that he's fighting.
Great art.
Yeah, the art is fun in this one. I mean, it's Nick Klein. So
Yeah.
Nick Klein's different. And we have I mean, I haven't read this yet, but we do have that Donny Cates Hulk make an appearance here.
Nice.
So I
Yeah,
got to
Donny
read
Cates
this.
went nuts with Hulk, didn't he?
Yeah, I believe they're either in Hulk's brain right now or they're in something that Dr. Voodoo set them with. But I'm pretty sure last issue they got out of the little world that Dr. Voodoo set them in. But basically, they're trying to. Their friend here got turned into a little doll, and they're trying to free her soul from basically its imprisonment, if you will. And then there is a backup story in here. This is Weapon Extraction. This is going to appear in a couple of different comics. This is part 1. So if you want to read all of them, you're going to have to buy a couple of different comics. I'm sure at some point they'll put it all together and put it into one book.
Yeah, it looks cool.
But yeah, they have like a little, and it's a Wolverine Deadpool story. You know, definitely still trying to promote Wolverine and Deadpool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, but at this point, I think that movie's sold so many tickets. Like,
yeah,
I think you're beating a dead horse if you're just trying to promote.
Well, unless the people want to say, you know, who does that? Who watches the movie and say, I want to read a comic book now?
Right.
You know, maybe. I bet it happens. You know.
Who knows? All right, 2 more books to go.
Okay, 2 more. Let's do this.
We got Catwoman number 67. Catwoman's this is part 9 of 9 Lives. Pretty gritty kitty committee in tricky Gotham City. Try saying that fast.
Nice.
Yeah, a David Nakayama cover here. So Catwoman's putting together her little crew. You know, the story has been that this deity came to her and gave her these 9 lives, and she decided to use them as she would. What actually happened, it looks like, is a asteroid that gave Vandal Savage his immortality. Also, you know, struck Gotham, struck her.
Yeah.
And it's now stuck in her brain, and she's got to find a way to get that that asteroid that's given her these powers to die and come back. But eventually it's just going to kill her.
Yeah.
So that's the next step. And then last but not least, before we come to an end, we got Star Wars number 48.
You are hanging in there with Star Wars, man. That is cool.
And we got a classic Leia and Anakin Skywalker. Not Anakin. but Luke Skywalker.
I'm waiting for them to get past Return already. Yeah. Come on.
This is titled The Path of Darkness. Apparently, Luke's going to cross over to the dark side. That's what they're...
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's what they're promoting right now. You know, that's their thing.
Let's just get past Return of the Jedi already, you know? They rushed through everything else, and why not rush through this gap?
Because you still got a lot of Darth Vader stories to tell.
Yeah. You got to give it up to Vader. They're going to pull him out of the freaking time stream and bring him back or something.
Bring him everywhere, right? When Vader's done, they're going to be like, no, you're not.
The world between worlds, all that stuff. I'm scared about that.
We got to bring him back. But yeah, that was my new comic book day this week.
Man, I am honored, Will. This was our first one-on-one, dude. I hope we do a lot of these, actually. I really see these happening, you know?
Me too.
And I won't be such a wise guy about it, you know? I do like the modern comics, but I want to reach out to the peeps who like the slab. They like slabbing, okay? They like the new stuff. They like spending their money on the new stuff. You know, they don't care about events. It's like whatever makes you happy, right?
I like a little bit of mix of both. I like slabs, but I like the comic. I like the current stuff. And I have books. I have Silver Age. I have Bronze Age.
Oh yeah, you're a reader and you collect it all, dude. You're not. Yeah. You've been around.
This is just what. This is just. I buy a lot of modern stuff. Actually, I do. I'm on 22's channel. Well, I'm in the chat in 22's channel. He does top 10 alternative books. So there's like a top 10 list and he gives you alternatives, which are usually cheaper.
Yeah, I gotta get on with 22 too, man.
Yeah. And he calls me I got a nickname there. They call me Mr. Modern. So
nice. Oh, so you do have the that title. Okay.
I have a moniker.
Yeah, you have the moniker of the new But it's cool, whatever, because you're going to pick up stuff that I don't, and then so this is going to be a healthy thing.
Yeah, and vice
All right,
versa.
you guys.
Stuff that I don't have. So,
dude, this is such a good idea. Now, tomorrow, same time, 4:00 Pacific time, chaotic comic book cover displays and more with friends will return for the SmackDown, right? And but we want to get out of the way here of the Graphic Man's channel, 4-Color Fossils. It's a great show. I think Chaotic Comic Books was a little too similar to that, so I didn't feel comfortable about that. And people were calling me an upstart. I didn't want to be an upstart. You know what I mean? The young upstart. Anyway, you guys, peace and love to all the comic book community, right? All you guys, let's start over, okay? All right, you guys, you have a wonderful day, and we are out. See you on the next one.
Deuces.
Peace, you guys. Thanks.